Dad realizes cops discovered this horrifying secret. Chat, are y'all ready to lock in and watch a true crime video? This is 51 minutes. It's 51 minutes. We have to be efficient. We have to be quick. And no getting distracted, no pausing. Okay? All right? All right? No getting distracted, chat.
Well, the dog actually alerted to right there where it's leaned up against the tree.
Right here, you see this? There's three big, looks brothers.
He's a bad person.
In what way?
Every way, in my opinion.
I'm actually glad he's in jail. He needs to die in jail. Because all
Damn.
the he's done.
Why didn't he want you to leave it?
All right, Emily, drive safe.
When 56-year-old James Jim T. Whitaker suddenly vanished, police believed their biggest concern would be unraveling the truth of what happened to him. But as they dove deeper into the investigation, they soon uncovered that this was just the beginning of a twisted case. Jim's disappearance would prove to be the catalyst in exposing a sickening secret that had been kept hidden for years.
Why do all murderers have like these ugly ass, musty ass, cluttered houses, bro? Can y'all at least keep a clean house?
Oh, who cares to be a skull cap? Huh? Yeah.
It all began on the afternoon of July 25th, 2020, when sheriff's deputies in Hocking County, Ohio, responded to reports of gunshots in a residential neighborhood.
How we doing?
Why is Jim short for James instead of Jam? Who's calling a nigga Jam?
On the road. Well, she said you got a horseshoe there. Shooting at 22.
The deputies were greeted by 18-year-old Melody Dixon and her father, 40-year-old Michael, or Mike as he was most often known. While Mike had been staying at his friend James Jim Whitaker's property for about 2 years, Melody had moved in about 4 months ago. While nothing may have seemed amiss with the father and daughter initially, police would likely look back at this interaction with concern later.
What'd you shoot in it? What kind of ammo? Oh, hold on. Okay. That'd be terrific.
There was something far more alarming going on at this house than disruptive shooting. However, with the residents being so cooperative, the deputies had no reason to think that anything was amiss. They would soon realize just how wrong they were.
Okay.
Was you shooting anything else?
That and the 22.
Okay. We had
I only shot that once, and I can show you where it hit the tree.
Okay.
Because I know they go far. It's like shooting rifles, well, the new ones.
Well, it's no big deal. We had somebody that fired a gun, and it struck a windshield. Nobody got hurt or anything like that.
The father and daughter were let off with a warning, and the deputies departed. Just a few short hours later,
look where the fuck they are.
Let off with a warning, and the deputy.
Ain't no way you accidentally hitting a windshield shooting a gun here. Unless that shit flies perfectly between every single tree into a highway or some shit and smacks a windshield. No way. No way that's happening.
Deputies departed. Just a few short hours later, though, another deputy would be back at the same property under vastly different circumstances. Jim's family had called the police to report him missing.
This is my dad's property, Jim Whitaker.
Okay.
We haven't been able to communicate with him for 20-some days. He's not in his house.
I think something's happened to him.
There's other people in here when we got here. They left about as soon as we got here.
Oh.
They didn't give us no answers on where he was.
The thing is, I know my son.
He's never done this. 56 years old. He's never just disappeared.
Right.
Jim's mother said she'd last talked to him at the beginning of the month, around the 4th of July. They frequently spoke and had made plans to check in with each other the next day. But Jim never answered the phone
Ohio State
again. While it was clear Jim was missing, police were likely alarmed to see that Mike and Melody had also vanished. The nature of their relationship, along with the reason they decided to suddenly depart, raised more than a few questions. Jim's family had actually seen Mike acting suspiciously earlier, just after the deputies who responded to the reports of gunshots left.
He had a 50-pound bag of dog food in one hand, a live dog, a chainsaw, and reached over and grabbed 5 arrows off of that thing that's out there and a pair of gloves.
The fuck is he prepared for? What? 50-pound bag of dog food. He got the dog with him, a chainsaw, and arrows and gloves.
Those were not the only items missing from the house. Some of
Where's
Jim's
the bow?
things were missing too, including a firearm, a crossbow,
Oh,
and 2
he got a
TVs.
crossbow.
It's possible that he just took his personal possessions right here in
It's
this area.
very
and was
unlikely.
like, I'm out
He
here.
has struggled to
I
keep this
understand that.
house
I'm just
for
saying it's a
years.
possibility.
It's a possibility.
Okay.
But he would have done that when my mom died, not now, just all of a sudden.
What's
Okay.
this? True
Still
crime.
trying to figure out exactly when Jim
We don't know
went
what's going on
missing.
yet.
Police also spoke with his friend Keith. While he provided interesting information, the story got even more bizarre. Keith claimed that Mike had showed him a strange note, allegedly written by Jim back on July 12th, 13 days earlier.
Mike came out. We were fiddling with something in the garage. Mike was fixing something, and I was sitting there. He fiddling with it. He came in the house, and then he come back out, and he's like, "I just found this in Melody's stuff,"
Okay.
and it
Okay.
sounded like an
Profession
odd
of love slash
profession
no.
love to Mike's and his daughter, that girl Melody / no.
Wait. James. Mike's daughter. Wait. But aren't they brothers? No, they're not brothers. Where's Jim? Jim's missing. I'm confused. Or are they just friends? You try to fuck your friend's daughter? What?
Yeah.
But
Okay.
you know,
Very weird.
It was signed Jimbo. I didn't think Jimmy ever signed his name Jimbo. You know.
Additionally, the handwriting didn't appear to match Jim's penmanship, and his mother and daughter both said the way it was written
Dirty
didn't
ass
sound
niggas
like
got
Jim at all.
Nesquik in their house.
While they didn't know it just yet, this note would end up being a huge clue, helping to explain what exactly had happened to Jim. As well, the timing of the note meant that Jim could have been missing for weeks at this point. It was clear that something wasn't right.
I used to
Unfortunately,
drink
the most
Nesquik.
likely
You
sources
used
of
to.
answers were Mike and his
But you
daughter
grew up.
Melody, and they
These
were
are
nowhere
grown
to be
women
found.
drinking Nesquik.
The next
Hell
day,
no.
several deputies and detectives from the sheriff's office returned with a warrant to Jim's property to conduct another search. What they uncovered made their hunt for Mike and Melody even more urgent.
What's in the basement?
That's where Michael was staying at. Just a bunch of crap. I would definitely
Where what?
I'd definitely wear gloves. It's dirty.
Man, this house is
Take down the door.
ominous as hell.
I'm just trying to determine what was like it and what was new, that type of thing.
But that door has never been locked. Never ever.
Ew.
So what's this?
Mike can put that on there.
Do you know why?
No, I have no idea why.
When the officers entered the basement and saw the conditions, they quickly realized that this would not be an easy search. One thing, however, likely stood out to them right away. Mike and Melody were both supposedly living here, but there was only one bed.
Nah.
While this was clearly concerning, it was only the tip of the disturbing iceberg when it came to Mike and Melody.
Hey, Melody, a kid. Melody just turned 18, but it's his daughter.
Quit. What? So I think I quit smelling a while ago. No blondies.
I think she just turned 18.
The camo bag? No, I saw the camo bag I flipped.
You have the light on. There. See the glove?
I was looking at that bag right there.
How do you live like this,
Right
bro?
here. You see this? There's 3 big.
It looks bloodish.
There's 4 actually.
Faced with the inhospitable state of the basement, the officers went back upstairs to regroup.
You don't?
Eventually, they decided to call out a K-9 search unit to go over the entire property,
poor dog,
inside
bro.
and out.
Alright, let's collect that stuff in the basement real quick or I'll send her downstairs.
Station 1.
You're going home and taking a bath? Yes.
The dog didn't alert upstairs or downstairs in the house, not even for the presumed drops of blood on the camouflage print bag found in the basement. A second dog was brought in to double-check and delivered the same result.
Damn, you
While
ain't
this
trust
may have
your
seemed
dog?
promising when considering Jim's fate, it wouldn't for long. The investigators swabbed the item and took it as evidence just in case, before expanding the search to the great outdoors.
Nothing? How close does he have to be, depending on...
Usually
circumstance.
within about
4 to 6 feet. He'll alert.
Okay.
While following the dog, one of the detectives came across what appeared to be a tombstone. Here, the canine alerted, which it was trained to do only if it detected the smell of human remains. Before they could start digging, Jim's daughter returned to the scene.
I mean, that's a tombstone. Is that not fucked up to dig up?
What she said dashed
Well,
any
no, because if it was old human remains, it wouldn't be. Okay, never mind. I'm done.
hope of finding clues near the headstone.
Do you know anything about a gravesite being here? Not your dad's, but there's a World War I.
Oh no, that's just okay. So here's what happened. That got me and my mom actually got that from. That's part of her family, and they replaced the stone, and they allowed us to take that one. There's no grave to it.
Oh.
It's just a stone. Yep, it's just
Okay.
a stone.
Well, the dog actually alerted to right there when it's leaned up against the tree.
They theorized that the headstone had absorbed some of the scent of human remains from the cemetery where it came from, resulting in a false alert.
Okay.
While it was good news that they hadn't found a body, it was also troubling because they still had no leads about what happened to Jim. Only later would they realize they had overlooked a crucial source of evidence. Still, a promising lead turned up. On a property just a few miles down the road, the investigator stopped by to chat with a man named Kenny who knew both Mike and Jim.
Sheriff's office. How are you? Look for Mike.
Huh?
Michael Dixon.
What about him?
Nah, it's only Jim that's missing.
He
CC.
ain't seen him for a couple days.
Sure about that?
Positive.
Mike. They talked to Mike, and then he dipped off. Nobody know where the fuck Mike went. But he not really missing though.
All right. Well, because his car's right there.
I know it is.
So let's not do something silly if you're not telling the truth.
Oh, I'm telling the truth.
Okay. So when did he drop his car off?
I guess last night, but I wasn't here. My girlfriend was here then.
Okay. Can I get a look at it?
Oh, I don't care.
All right.
Apparently, Mike left his car behind because it was leaking transmission fluid. However, that was the only explanation he offered before taking off again. When looking through the back window, the deputies could see the chainsaw Jim's daughter said Mike took from the house. Mike's mom and stepdad, Denise and Frank Specie, lived just down the street from where
Fam,
Mike
the whole
had left his
family live
car.
in one block. Like,
When they headed over to the Specie house, the investigators found not only what they were looking for, but also would soon discover that multiple members of the Dixon family were hiding things, even if some of them didn't know it.
Mike. Mike. There's a Fairfield County's got a warrant for you. You can take that there. Okay. Why don't you take a couple hits off that cigarette?
Or you just can't hang it in your mouth, keep smoking it if you want. That'll help you out.
okay.
Is your dad here? Okay. Is there anybody else here or just your dad?
Dad, my daughter.
Okay.
The detectives placed Mike under arrest on a pre-existing traffic warrant, but that wasn't what they really wanted to talk to him about. They made him aware of his Miranda rights before getting to the heart of the matter.
You want to talk to me about what's been going on at Jim's house?
They say that daughter come down a few days ago and said that I had to get out of the house.
Mm-hmm.
Been
Well,
gone,
yeah.
I think, since the 5th.
Look how you're
And his
living, bro.
daughter
You
come
dirty.
saying, oh, I was getting rid of his stuff. I didn't get rid of nothing of his. He was like a dad to me.
So what do you think has happened to Jim?
I'm hoping nothing. I'm hoping he just took off, but I don't know why.
Further up the driveway, other detectives spoke with 18-year-old Melody.
Did James say where he was going or anything?
No. He didn't really say where he was going. He was just.
What happened to some of his stuff,
What do you mean?
like his guns, his TV set, and all that?
Well, the gun was been missing, and
Did she have bruises on her legs, or am I tripping?
I don't know about the TV.
Unfortunately for Melody, Kenny and his son Jeff, who owned the property where Mike left his car, told the detectives otherwise.
Mike Dixon, did he sell you a TV or trade a TV?
Yeah.
The other missing TV was purchased by Kenny. This was just the tip of the iceberg when it came to Melody's secrets, and they only became more troubling
What's
from
good,
here.
Kiki?
The investigators continued to press her, hopeful that she would slip up again.
Do you think that something's happened to Jim?
think he just took off because that's what he's been talking about for a while.
Where would he go?
Well, he told me and Dad, he's like, I'm just gonna not be here when I'm there. And you guys can keep this place because
What's good, Tsunami?
Being family don't give a goddamn about me or whatever. So.
Okay.
You think something's happened to him?
These niggas be terrible liars.
I don't really know because last time I've seen him was 4th, 5th.
Melody was talking to police on the 27th, meaning that Jim had been missing for around 23 days at this point. Melody said that prior to living with Jim and her father, Mike, she'd been in foster care and was specifically not supposed to be in contact with her father. The reason for this was stomach churning, as investigators would find out. But for now, police focused on what they knew.
I don't know. I don't like
Jim supposedly left.
I don't like Mike, bro.
Did you and Jim have a relationship? No?
He wanted one.
You wanted one?
And then when I told him no, he like went berserk, and that's what that letter was about.
Wait.
This topic would come up again later. Currently, the detectives probably noticed that
So
despite
Jim's
the
a
dire
pedophile?
situation, Melody's priority was clearly not the missing Jim, but her father, Mike.
Is he going to jail?
So Jim, the missing dude,
This is a warrant
is a
for-
pedophile, I guess, and one in Melody.
Mike was transported to the sheriff's office, where
And
the
Mike-
detectives continued to question him about Jim's
Well, they're trying to paint
whereabouts.
it like Jim's a pedophile.
But Jim had talked about in the past. Was there anything to indicate that he was going to, that his depression had reached a limit on that day?
I didn't think so.
Didn't think so. But I mean, if he was to basically, why would he take a TV?
Yeah.
While they'd already
That's a
found
good
the
point.
TVs Mike sold to Kenny and Jeff, investigators also tracked down more of Jim's missing property. A firearm matching the description of Jim's favorite rifle was sold on July 6th to an acquaintance of Mike's named Tommy, but he resold it 2 days later. Investigators were able to track it down and collected it as evidence. When chatting with the detectives, Tommy revealed more than just the location of the rifle. He also shared some concerning information about Jim and Mike's odd relationship.
Cause see, Michael beat the shit out of that old man a bunch. Like,
Oh.
yeah, they got to fight a lot, man. That old man would get high on meth, 'cause that old man was a meth head. And he'd get high on meth and stuff, and him and Michael would get into it, hot and heavy. I mean,
Hot and heavy.
he blacked Michael's eyes, and Michael blacked
Hey,
his eyes,
Panicky.
too. I mean, it was just like they was two fighting married couple. I swear to God, that's what you thought.
The next day, when the deputies returned to ask Tommy a few follow-up questions, he had something else to add, this time sharing what Mike had apparently told him about his daughter, Melody, and Jim.
He had said that he had caught his daughter and him in bed. I asked him. That's on my kids. I asked him right in my living room 2 days before you guys arrested him. I asked him if he did it, and here's his exact reaction when I asked him. He's like, "No, man, I didn't do it like that." Like eating, like how you put that? You know, when somebody's being sarcastic, like you know, like you can see in their voice and hear that, you know, he knows more than what he was saying.
Everything Tommy
Oh, so Jim was trying to sleep with Mike's daughter. Mike blacked out and killed Jim.
shared was concerning, and investigators'
Okay.
suspicions only increased when they spoke to some of Jim's neighbors.
He mentioned that he was going to kill Jimmy. I don't know how many times.
So several times.
And this was even before Melody showed up down here. Because they get in fights and they throw shit at each other. They get in fights, and the next thing you hear is a couple gunshots, and you have to wonder, okay, did somebody shoot somebody this time, really, for real?
At the sheriff's office, the investigators shared similar concerns with Mike.
I guess what makes it look strange for you, Mike, is that you guys continued to live there.
Hello? Hey. Oh, my food got here? That was fast. Thanks, Mom.
I'm not working. Big farm. Hey, Jack.
All right. Bro, y'all don't think I can eat 2 sandwiches. I'm going to show y'all. I'm gonna teach y'all a lesson.
There, and never let anybody know that Jim was missing. I mean, why not call the sheriff's office and say, hey, this guy's left, the TV's
Have we done
missing, his
before this
gun's
video is?
missing, and I haven't seen him for a few
Okay, done.
days. Even though I understand Jim's an adult, but why didn't you go and call us?
I don't know. I should have when I was going to. I asked a few people what they thought, and they said, "Oh no, Jim might be doing something
2
you don't want the
sandwiches
cops to know
and
about."
surprise.
Well, I should have called you.
And then Mike made a mistake.
No, I cared about Jim a lot. I did. But I mean, I'm not
Oh.
funny, but he was like my uncle.
Chick-fil-A.
Mhm.
Why is he talking in past tense? Why is it GG's? GG's. GG's.
Alarmingly, Mike used the past tense when referring to Jim. It only got worse from there. Mike soon confessed to something so horrendous that not only was he placed under arrest, but detectives
What's
returned
good,
to the
third?
Specie residence to bring Melody in for an interview of her own.
How are you?
Good. Yeah.
Okay. Melody, I'd like to take you down to Louisville and talk with you about your dad. Okay? You okay to go?
You're not under arrest.
You're not under arrest or anything like that. We want to go down and just have a conversation with you in a nice private area.
Melody agreed to go
Okay.
back to the station. Once they got there, the detectives made her aware of her Miranda rights before finally getting down to business.
I'm about to say, she loves the fucking Browns. God damn.
And what I would like for you to do is talk with us about the incident that occurred with Mr. Whitaker, about what your dad has told us. Are you willing to talk to us?
Do you actually have a recording of him saying that?
Sure do.
Could you show me like a recording first and then send it to us?
I don't have the video with me.
So I guess we have to go out on one right now.
Well,
I don't know if what you're telling me is correct or not.
wouldn't you want the family to have closure? Do you think that James deserves to be laying out?
It's not good people in my opinion. So
Pardon?
they're not good people, so why would I want them?
Okay.
They're not good people. None of them are.
So you don't care about James?
No, I didn't say. Well, he's a bad person.
In what way?
Every way, in my opinion.
In every way. In
I mean,
what way would that be?
Dad was just trying to protect me.
Why do you say James is a bad person?
Yeah, because we got in front of us and told Dad he had to leave, but wasn't having to leave. He was screaming. I tried to listen to Dad.
Oh.
Well, I had an instruction, like really bad, so I went to the line of the steps, so I went to the restroom. And he grabbed me. And I was like, what the heck? And he screamed loud, so he would get that out. And once he go, I was like, well, let me leave then. And I went to go away from him.
Why didn't he want you to leave with your dad?
Because
The investigators would return to the
Oh.
quandary of why Jim didn't want Melody to leave, and this
So
discussion
Jim-
would reveal what could be the key to understanding
Yeah,
this
Jim's a
nightmare
nasty.
situation.
Jim's a
So
nasty.
you guys were arguing. I need to hear this, okay?
This
So
low key
you
a
guys
justified
will be
kill. Wait, can you get off for this, bro? If you kill somebody for this, I feel like you should get like a super light sentence.
Yes.
yeah, I remember just before me and then just got me over. And I wasn't thinking, I just went like that. And then he went out my throat.
You're right. He did hide
Grab
the
you by
body.
your throat.
And that's when I looked over and saw him. Dad.
This wasn't the full story. Melody was leaving out some of the most chilling pieces, but for now, detectives had no choice but to turn to Mike, who told them a similar story.
Don't put Big Dre on that jury. That man going home. Hey, bro, listen. You put me on that jury, I might be going, ah. I mean, did he really kill him or did he just relieve him of his duty to life? You know what I mean? It might not be that.
Resulting in his arrest. Not only that, but he also agreed to go back to the property and reconstruct the crime scene for police.
I told him I was going down the stairs to get my gun, and I went and got my gun.
Come up.
Yep.
You
That's
heard-
when Melody was coming out of the thing. I could hear them scuffling a little bit.
What were they saying anything to each other?
No, I just heard her kind of like yelling, and supposedly she grabbed like his gun. She said all she remembers is looking down the barrel of it. I heard the safety on this gun click off, and that's when I shot mine.
I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie to you. It don't sound like Mike did that bad. It don't sound that bad, Mike.
James
It
saw
don't
that
sound that bad.
Your dad was
I'm
pointing
with
a
you.
gun at him.
Man, not enough reaction time.
He didn't have enough reaction time to do anything. Is that what you're saying?
I was like, not close, not really away.
Couple feet away.
Wasn't close enough that I freaking felt the bullet go by.
Oh, right here where I'm standing.
Okay.
And if he would be to come forward towards me a little bit, no, that way, just right there. And if you would have turned like, if you would have been going to look like, yep, right like that. Right there.
Right there?
Yep, no, right just like that, exactly.
And where did you hit him in his body?
Right there where he's pointing towards his eye.
The investigators had now confirmed that
Good shot. I ain't gonna lie. Chat. This isn't an easy shot, and he hit him right in the eye. Hey, bro, Mike might be him.
Right there where he's pointing towards his eye.
the investigators had now confirmed that Jim was deceased, but the location of his body remained a mystery. The issue of motive would also come into question when police found evidence suggesting that there was something sickening going on behind closed doors.
He only did what he did because of me.
This, as it was later revealed, was probably true, but perhaps not for the reasons Melody was giving.
He wasn't doing it because he's an evil person or whatever.
I understand. He's just trying to protect you.
And I don't think he should get like maximum punishment or whatever.
She turned into a
like
fucking
everyone else.
lawyer. Okay.
You know, it's basically, it was my fault that it started.
No, it's not your fault. I wouldn't say that.
Because if I wouldn't have walked up those steps, that was wrong.
No matter the truth, the gory efforts that followed Jim's death meant that the
I would
Dixons
have
were
fucked
in a
this
heap
case
of
up on
trouble.
purpose. Oh no. I get it though.
He talks about how he cleans it up.
Just with bleach.
Bleach. Do you know where he bought the bleach from? Was there bleach at the house?
Yeah.
Did you cover up anything over here? Did you clean anything?
Yeah, I cleaned.
Did you clean up on the wall?
Damn, nigga, if you was gonna clean, could you have done the dishes, you dirty bitch? I mean, you just cleaned the blood and left all this other bullshit in the house. You couldn't clean up anything else. Like, look at this.
Bit, and then there
God
was
damn.
water up. You can kind of like right in that way. You can see stuff
Where was most of the blood?
on the floor.
It was most on the floor.
Yep,
Was there a puddle?
down there.
In the process of the cover-up, Mike had also rearranged some of the furniture. Surprisingly, he hadn't done so alone.
The only reason I didn't think much about it is because me and Jimmy were talking about it. And Mike may have even been in the room
Bro,
before
of course
Jimmy
they got
had not
Confederate
been
flags in the
around.
crib, right? It's Ohio, rural Ohio.
Well, we just actually rearranged stuff around and, maybe threw away trash or stuff like that. Nothing was cleaned. Makes me feel crappy or sick to think if Jimmy was around in any way, shape, or form, dead even or whatnot when I was up there.
While Jim's friend Keith was nothing more than an unwitting accomplice, others were far more involved in the case than they let on. Back with Mike, the officers moved the refrigerator into its original position so Mike could continue his
Ohio wasn't even part of the Confederacy. Niggas be dick riders, bro.
reconstruction of the scene.
Where was the gun?
The gun was about where my feet are.
Which way was the gun?
Pointing the barrel towards that.
Use that.
This was it. Say, this is the barrel like that. It was right there.
Was it laying on him?
Right there.
So where's the butt of the gun? That's the butt of the gun.
Okay.
I took when I come up here and I took my hands over that way.
Kicked it out, and then what?
And then I reached down and like I told you and seen if he had any pulse.
Okay. And then what'd you do? Where was Melody?
Over there.
She-
About where that baseball bat's at.
Once again, Melody filled in more of the missing details.
What kind of clothes did you have on at the time?
The same fit. She been rocking the same fit for 3 days. I know she had on these clothes. Ain't no way she didn't have. Bro, she been rocking the same fit.
My graduation dress.
Graduation dress?
Oh.
What color?
White.
What did you do with it?
Pretty sure my dad burned it. Because it had stuff on it.
While Melody believed her father burnt the dress, he never admitted to it. When the dress was burned, however, was an entirely different matter.
Okay.
Jim's neighbors provided a little more insight.
We were sitting here just enjoying our 4th of July, and Melody comes walking down the driveway. And she stood there and asked if we had any gas that she could buy from a gas can. And what she was wearing that day, we all noticed that it looked like it had a blood stain on the middle of it.
About that big around.
When examining Jim's financial records, the investigators noticed that his debit card was used at a gas station on the 4th of July.
Okay.
This very well could have been the last place Jim had gone, but they also probably had to wonder if this transaction was made by Melody or Mike using his card. Unfortunately, they never found out, as the gas station footage had already been recorded over.
Well, you know it wasn't him, nigga. He's dead.
But something else Melody said in interrogation clued the investigators in on who else may have known about the crime, and lied about it as well.
Is your family like Frank, or is he married?
What you miss? Jim was trying to grab Melody. Mike crashed out, shot him, cleaned it up, burned some evidence. You know what I mean? Cleaned it up with some bleach. And yeah.
Are they supporting you? I mean, are they being nice to you at least?
Me and my grandpa.
Your grandpa?
Frank.
Frank? Okay, that's your grandpa. Okay. Have you tried to talk to him about it so that they understand what you're going through?
I mean, yeah, whenever we can really talk to my grandpa. But the other ones, you can't really,
Okay.
can't really trust him.
Mike also revealed that he told his stepdad, Frank, about killing Jim. This was about to be a big problem for Frank, as the police headed back to the Specie house a third time.
With that being told, I want you to understand something.
Damn, Frank.
I've already talked to Mike. I've already talked to Melody. They both indicated to me that they talked to you and told you of the involvement of James' death, or Jimmy, if that's what you want to call him. When did he tell you this, and how did he tell you this? Was it right after it occurred, or a day or two afterwards?
So when they come here, I thought he shot at him. I didn't know.
You just said he shot him.
Yo, bro, stop. Yo, bro, your son already in jail.
Shot at. That's all that's the way it was phrased to me.
Okay, and he didn't say, I killed him.
No.
He didn't say,
No.
I buried him, I get rid of the body,
No.
anything like that.
No. Because that's when I would have gotten a hold of somebody and found out what was going on. Because I knew
Niggas
Jimmy
just be
years
lying.
ago.
Did he try to bring a weapon here?
No.
Any kind of gun at all? Handgun, long gun?
Not that I've seen.
Frank was granted a reprieve for now. But when police eventually got to the truth, Frank would be facing some serious
Yeah,
consequences.
Frank probably helped bury the
Still,
body.
It didn't take long for those consequences to begin. Something else Melody
What's
shared
good,
had
Raina?
the potential to land the family back in hot water.
What happened to Mike's gun?
I don't know this information because
Did he give it to Frank?
no. I don't even think he's allowed to have guns in the house because he has on disability or something.
Melody was right. Mike didn't give the firearm to Frank. He gave it to someone else in the family. This meant it was time for a fourth visit to the Specie house.
No, I didn't do my job.
I know they tired, bro. I know they tired, bro. They done been back to this house 1,000 times. What's good, Vic?
Yes.
What's your name, ma'am?
I'm Tanisha.
You're Tanisha?
No,
Denise.
Denise. Oh, I was just saying, Tanisha is an odd name. Different name.
Yo, oh, the cops are racist. The cops are. She's like Tanisha. That sound like a. You know what that sound like. You know what that sound like.
What was in the house, Denise?
My husband.
That's
my
Frank.
son.
Is that
John?
John?
John, he's in the shower.
Okay. Can you have Frank come out as well? And I want to talk to you two just for a second, and then get you apprised of what we're doing here.
By this point, Frank likely knew what was coming.
How about this? Yeah. Here's what's happening right now. We are here for a search warrant of your residence. Okay?
Officers make everyone come outside so they can speak with them. Mike's mother, Denise, was visibly distraught.
I just found out about this yesterday. I had a phone call.
Well, we've got a lot of explaining to do to you and all that stuff, but like I said, there's a process we have to follow. All right?
She only became more upset when one of the officers tried to read her Miranda rights.
Okay. I ain't never been through anything like this.
Okay, listen, this is
Ma'am, you ain't killed nobody. I think you good.
This isn't you, you know. Okay.
Okay.
Meanwhile, once Mike's brother John was out of the shower, the deputies took him aside and advised him of his Miranda rights, even though he wasn't under arrest.
Essentially, there's only one question that I really need to
Fresh
ask.
out the shower.
Correct. Where is that gun at?
Get it out of my trunk.
It's in your trunk?
Yes, sir.
You know, the question is Michael brought you the gun.
I bought the gun from my brother before any of this ever happened. He kept asking me to borrow it. He wanted to go hunting with it. And then he showed back up with it that morning. I didn't know yet. He just showed up with it. Here's your gun back.
The suspected murder weapon was exactly where John said it was.
Okay.
John had something else to share, besides the location of the weapon.
Damn, that was the murder. That was a good shot. He went downstairs and sniped that dude in that little gap in the kitchen with that big head. Yo, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. My respect for Mike is going through the roof.
This has been brewing. Jimmy and Michael have been threatening to shoot each other for 2 years.
The reason why things had escalated now, rather than any other time, was nothing short of scandalous.
Did Michael tell you that he shot and killed Jimmy?
No, he did not personally tell me. He did not.
He didn't personally tell you, but did anybody in secondhand tell you?
I am going to plead the fifth on that.
John chose to plead the fifth.
Okay.
He did not get in any legal trouble. In addition to sorting out who knew what about the crime, police still needed to locate Jim's body and try to work out the true motive for his death. Both tasks would be far trickier than anyone bargained for.
What happened then with James' body?
I wasn't part of that. My dad made me go downstairs and go to bed.
So he told you to go downstairs?
Well, he and walked me up downstairs, and because I was like shocked. And he kept screaming my name, but I wouldn't move. He messed me up, grabbed me, and brought me downstairs, and like helped me in bed and told me to stay on here for a little while, and I fell asleep.
No way you fell asleep in that dirty ass
Mike
basement.
provided firsthand horrific details of what happened next.
He was right here. I took him and I slid his head over this way. I put the sled right here beside him, took him, rolled him over, got a hold of the sled, put it here and rolled him over onto it, and rolled him out the door.
The sled Mike used was a deer sled, frequently used by hunters to haul heavy game home. The story only got grislier from there.
So when you woke up, was the house, was all the blood and everything cleaned up? It was already gone? So you didn't know where any of that stuff went to?
Yes, we burned it.
Did you ask him or did he just tell you?
But he told me the night before I was going to go take care of everything and burn.
You never actually witnessed how the body was dragged out of the the home, how it was removed or anything
No,
like
because he
that?
didn't want me to know. He didn't want me
He didn't want you to watch.
Okay. Makes sense.
he knew once he pulled the trigger that he did that, and he shouldn't have done it.
While Melody and Mike both insisted that she didn't help clean up the crime scene, police likely found it hard to believe that Mike could have pulled off the entire cover-up without help. Melody was also in trouble for lying to the police when they first asked her if she knew what happened to Jim. As a result, she was placed under arrest for obstruction of justice.
Okay, but that's not a fair arrest, though, bro. That's not a fair arrest. You expect her to snitch on her dad immediately? She said she ain't know.
While Mike was doing his walkthrough and reconstruction of the crime, Melody was also brought over from the jail to do her own on-site interview. While there, she saw her father for the first time since his arrest.
Give me a kiss.
Tell me the truth, Melody, don't lie.
Melody was also asked to reconstruct the crime.
You went to bed. I just went to bed at that moment.
You just went to bed with bloody arms and.
Well, I was kind of. I hadn't went to bed in a very long time, days, and when I came down here, I just basically passed out.
However, this wasn't the only thing they wanted to ask her about, as
Bro,
police
you know there's mice and shit all over this crib, bro. No way there's not.
were still trying to piece together the real motive.
Had there been anything going on between you and Jimmy?
No. No.
I need to know. Nothing.
No, he wanted something, but I told him no, and he got mad about it, and I told
When was that?
basically the entire time I've been here.
So the entire time
He's like,
he'd been hitting on you, wanting you to do things with him,
yeah.
and you never did.
Mm-hmm.
What
Yeah.
about anything between you and your dad? Nothing at all.
No.
As odd as this line of
What the
questioning
hell?
may sound, there was a very good reason investigators were asking. There was something unsettling going on with Mike and his 18-year-old daughter, Melody.
No, Mike, I defended you. Don't, Mike.
I fuck
no,
with that.
God.
I really fuck
Yo,
with
bro,
that.
Kate Coffee, thank you for the follow. Mike, I defended you, nigga. Don't. So y'all two sick ass old niggas was fighting over. Wait a second. Oh no, that's not my man. It's not my man. It's not my man. It's not my man. It's not my man.
Police were made aware of the troubling allegations early on in the investigation.
That's not my
when
mans.
Speaking with Jim's family.
Michael Dixon was here.
Yeah.
And what's his girlfriend's name?
His daughter.
Oh, his daughter.
Melody.
His daughter / girlfriend.
Yeah, it's his daughter / girlfriend.
Police had also spoken to Melody's mother, Brandy, and what she shared added an upsetting layer to the case. Brandy explained the reason that Melody had been put in foster care and was not supposed to be in contact with her father.
The Children's Service decided not let Melody go back out because they think there was a possibility he made out with his own daughter. So they kept her in foster care. When she came up here and started visiting me, she wanted to see her dad, but nobody could stop her because she was 18. She started seeing her dad, but I don't know the things he said to her or whatever.
Oh,
he got her
man.
back on drugs again, like meth and all that crap.
Brandy said that there were multiple previous CPS reports detailing an ongoing struggle to keep Mike and Melody apart, but this is unconfirmed. Brandy also alleged that Mike's mother, Denise, was not only aware of the incestuous relationship, but had purchased lingerie for Melody.
Oh, bro, that's just some sick shit. You bought lingerie for your granddaughter to sleep with your fucking son? Oh, bro.
However, we do not have evidence to
What's
confirm
good,
this
Zoe?
claim. Melody's younger sister made even more revolting claims.
Whenever we lived out with his mom and dad, I walked in the trailer, Melody, and he was under the blanket, but maybe.
You said that happened out at
Frank and Denise.
Frank and Denise's house? Was that
Yeah.
like a long time ago? Or like...
It wasn't. It hasn't even been a year yet.
So he didn't shoot him to protect his daughter. He shot him because that was his. Oh, bro.
It's September 20th. They would always hold hands and all this shit. And he tried to hold my hand. He was like, "Come on, baby girl, you can hold my hand." I said, "No. Do you want me to beat the fuck out of you?" That's just nasty. I'm not like 2 years old. I'm actually glad that he's in jail. He needs to die in jail with all the shit that he's done.
Horrifically, Brandy and Melody's sister would not be the only ones to share troubling information with the police. Keith, the Whitaker family friend who had unknowingly helped Mike rearrange the crime scene, told the police that he had tried to convince Jim to kick Mike and Melody out, as he suspected they were having an incestuous affair. He told police that on multiple occasions while he was over, Mike and Melody would go downstairs together, and he would hear sounds of intimacy shortly thereafter.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!
On one occasion, he said Melody invited him to stick around so they could have some fun, which sent Mike into such a rage that he grabbed a weapon and shot it out the back door several times. With the possibility of an illicit father-daughter relationship now in the mix, the investigators had to wonder if this could have been a factor in Jim's death. Little did they know, the case would get even more twisted. While investigators had Melody and Mike at the crime scene, they focused on trying to locate Jim's remains. During his reconstruction of the crime, Mike walked the investigators through the chilling steps he took to get rid of the evidence.
So, which way did you drag him down into here? You drug him right through here? And then show me where you laid the body.
What's your feet in that stuff, buddy?
His head was about right there. And the feet were down that way. And his head is about where your feet are. Okay.
Wow.
And you say you burnt him 10 to 15 hours?
Yes.
And you were, the whole time you were using...
He didn't eat him, Dre. There's no way he ate the nigga. Because he said he burned them. And if you're telling me that this nigga cooked them medium rare and then ate him?
Wood, sticks,
Nah.
accelerant.
Clothes. Really not. The only time I used any accelerants when I first started it.
Mike also said that he burned Jim's cell phone, multiple shotgun shells, and other spent casings.
Mike, how much stuff was piled on top of him, on top of the body?
Probably a foot or two.
A what?
Foot or
two.
So you got a foot or two on top of him. You light him. You throw tires on after it's going. And wood. And you just kept throwing that stuff on there?
For a little bit, not all that long. Then once I got it going, I went in the house.
Okay. Did you stir it around? Like, I mean, fluff him up, let's say, like you'd fluff a fire up?
Once.
You did? Did you see his body then when you fluffed it?
Okay. Wow.
Did you come out and make sure that he was gone? You didn't look at it to see if there's anything left?
No.
The investigators were inclined to believe Mike, as they'd already found a way to substantiate his claims.
Oh, they already found the body.
Let me see. That's something. Oh, it appears to be a skull cap. Huh? Yep.
Is that hair right there?
There's more of that rope type stuff.
That looks more like hair.
He really cooked this man.
Yep. Looks like it.
Landry.
There's some more.
The initial investigators and the K-9 units had passed over this very burn pit without alerting. Along with the bone shards...
I ain't gonna lie, that dog was useless as fuck. How the fuck did the dog miss? Kotu, thank you for the stream streak, bro. Kotu, you did not fail me, man.
The
What's good, bro?
investigators also found a bone with what looked to be medically implanted scaffolding. Jim's doctor confirmed that the device could be consistent with the spine surgery Jim had years ago. But it still wasn't over. According to Mike, there was another place that needed to be searched for the rest of Jim's remains. Just a few days after Mike and Melody were arrested, the sheriff's department decided to pay Mike's stepfather, Frank, another visit.
All right, so this is what's
Frank
happening.
is so
I have
fucked,
one more
bro. Frank is so fucked. You know Frank helped burn that body.
for your arrest. What? Okay, for obstruction of justice, okay, during the investigation, okay? What? All right, so I'm going to place you under arrest right now, okay? I need you to turn around, put your hands behind your back.
Frank was cooperative, but Denise wasn't shy about expressing her displeasure.
This sucks.
While Frank was in jail, the lead...
Ooh, this fucking sucks. Well, listen, maybe you should have committed murder. Maybe you should have buy your fucking granddaughter lingerie, you sick fuck. This fucking sucks. Who cares? Ma'am? Like, on God, nobody asked you. On God, nobody asked. What?
Detectives, along with the prosecutor, once again tried to convince him to share what he knew about the case. What he revealed was appalling.
There's conversations that I know you had with Michael, with Melody present, especially when it came to destroying the teeth.
Frank
What state is
insisted
this
he
in?
didn't know
Ohio.
anything until they showed him a video clip of him mentioning this to an officer, at which point he magically remembered.
Why did he tell you that he destroyed the teeth? How did that come out?
He just come out and said it because he seemed like he really got into it. He just seemed like it was weird because he seemed like he enjoyed it. And I'm like, you enjoyed something like that?
I need to understand how he got from Jimmy's gone to describing in detail to the point where you think he enjoys destroying human teeth.
Exactly.
Because that's a big jump. And you've given me no detail here.
Did he say whether or not Jimmy was dead when he knocked the teeth out?
Yeah, he said he was gone. That's what I kept saying. He was gone. He didn't say nothing about him being dead. He's gone.
Aye, man.
After learning this, the detectives brought Mike back out for another walkthrough and enlisted his help to find what might remain of the teeth and the jawbone he said was kept with it.
What was it in again?
A bull. I believe it was plastic.
Kept the teeth in a bowl?
Like this? You underneath this shelf or underneath here?
Underneath right there.
Could it be anywhere else? How big's a bowl?
About as big around as that metal right there.
How high is it?
About 3-4 inches. That wasn't that.
What the fuck
That
is
wasn't
this
that?
house? Dirty, bro.
Where could it have gone?
Once you guys have done moved, I'd have thought we'd have found it by now. I mean, it wasn't hid, just sitting there.
Detectives were left with no choice but to out the entire basement, one item at a time. Despite all this work, Jim's jawbone and his teeth could not be found. An examination of the remains that were located revealed the sickening reason Mike had taken the chainsaw with him when he first fled Jim's residence. Many of the bone fragments showed evidence of cut marks, suggesting that Mike dismembered Jim's body before burning it. However, it was impossible to determine a precise cause of death because the remains were so damaged. Even after making this horrible discovery, the most shocking revelation was yet to come.
What do you... How?
Several months later, while waiting for the case to go to court, one of Melody's cellmates asked to speak with the detectives.
Oh.
What she alleged aligned with what many had feared all along.
No.
Well, her and her dad had a relationship of sleeping with each other.
How do you know that?
She said it.
How did she say it?
Her and her dad had, bedroom together, and told her, I was like, that's not right. And she just, acted like it was no big deal. So,
Those dead deer head?
every day, we would tell her and ask her, Why are you, like, she's in love with her dad.
Did you have a relationship with James Whitaker?
No.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
You guys ever kiss?
No.
Not even a kiss.
That laugh right there shows the lie, bro. That was that nervous laugh.
Contrary to this, another woman incarcerated with Melody claimed she'd heard the exact opposite about Melody and Jim.
Did she ever talk about any kind of relationship with him?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes.
What did she say about that?
I mean, pretty much that she would sleep with them for money.
If Melody did have a relationship with Jim as well as her father, it had the potential to change almost everything about the case.
These two niggas. Oh, these are the sickest niggas alive.
It would explain the regular fights between Jim and Mike, and could mean that the shooting was the fallout of a twisted love triangle. While looking for proof of a relationship between Melody and Jim, the detectives obtained a search warrant to go through Melody's phone.
Jim was sleeping with Melody also. Everybody involved is nasty as hell.
There's a video on your phone.
Said alive?
Oh. Retrieved your phone.
Good shit.
Looks like there's contact between you and your father. Would that be accurate or no?
Yes.
How long had you had a relationship with Michael?
Well, the first thing that happened was when I got taken out of mom's custody and put in grandma's custody back in 2017.
Melody claimed to be on meth each time she had relations with her father.
How many times did that happen?
The meth using or?
With Michael.
When I was 16, like between 4 and 6 times.
Disturbingly, this had taken place at the
You gotta give Mike 135 years.
BC house, while Melody and Mike were living with Frank and Denise, Melody's grandparents. As Melody's confession continued, it only became more upsetting.
And how many times after that did it happen when you weren't at your grandmother's? Like, did that start to happen when you started to live with him and James?
Yeah.
About how many times?
I don't know more than I can count. For like years of my life. Whenever you try to say no, and then like men are on top of you and you can't push them off, and then whenever I would tell my dad no, he would stop and he would respect that. So that's why I thought it was okay, because he
Wow.
always stopped. I said no.
You realized it wasn't okay? You know that now? You also realize it wasn't your fault?
Nah, I
Because
feel
it
so
wasn't
bad
okay.
for her,
It
bro.
wasn't okay. It wasn't your fault. He's a grown-ass man and you know better.
In 2021, Michael Dixon was sentenced to life in prison for murder, along with 3 years for tampering with evidence and 16.5 years for engaging in corrupt acts. He will not be eligible for parole until 2070,
He ain't making it to no 2070.
at which point he would be 91 years old. Melody, meanwhile, was convicted on 2 counts of obstruction of justice and 3 counts of tampering with evidence. She was sentenced to 9 years in prison
9 years.
and will be eligible for release in 2029.
Damn, that's soon.
Finally, Frank was convicted on 1 count of obstructing justice.
Look at Frank. Look at Frank. Freak, weird, nasty looking. Like, I dead ass don't like this nigga Frank. I don't like the way he, like, look at this nigga. Like, look how he's looking. Like,
He received credit for time served and 5 years on probation. Despite these convictions, we still don't know the full truth about why Mike killed Jim or the exact date of Jim's death. These factors will remain a mystery until either Mike or Melody reveal these final secrets.
did Frank know? Yeah, Frank knew. They was doing it in Frank's house. Listen. If the grandma was buying Melody lingerie and they was doing it in the house, ain't no way Frank didn't know. There's no way. There's no way. Oh, everybody knew. The whole fucking town knew. I guess. Wow, bro. That was actually insane. That was insane, bro.